welcome to MGP517. I'm Kev, and with me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna, and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
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 Hello. We're singing it. You two. Why didn't you two sing it? Sheepdog sang it. I want singing from everybody. This is the long-awaited musical episode. We've been waiting for this for 11 years, but we are going to sing the entire episode like they do in like season 5 of a sitcom. It's going to be amazing.
I was not told prior to pressing record.
Well, you've been told now, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to sing it. I was not told before I pressed record.
You only had to rhyme your words with what she was saying.
There's no one else going to sing then? Well, that's ruined that. The sitcom is cancelled.
It's all gone.
Horrified.
You enticed me back on the show by telling me we were going to do a musical episode. I'm here for the music.
Yeah, and then no one else sang. What am I supposed to do? I can't make them sing.
It's a breach of contract.
As you are well aware, I have a policy of no contracts, so I can't ever be accused of breaking them. I like to be able to drop people like a fly at any moment.
That's quite mean.
Well, you're the HR department, and everyone who works for Lelujo Enterprises is terrified of you, because you're the one who always threatens to fire them.
It is true. I've seen the inner workings of Lelujo Enterprises, and they're all scared of Anna.
Yeah, they're scared of HR. Because of the time you walked in on a stream, and I think Chris was sick or something, and you said, "Well, we won't pay him this week then."
That's fair. We don't offer bonus. We don't offer pay for no work. We don't offer any medical. So that was a fair.
There you go. The HR department right there. Don't be sick. That's amazing. Just I mean, simple as that.
I've seen you sick and you still carry on. So
yeah, but I'm a machine. I'm special. I am unbeatable. I still have crunchy stitches in my belly button, and I'm going sledging on Sunday.
How did that all go? I've not really spoken to you since you were carved open.
I had some new holes. I accidentally fingered one of them in my sleep, which was an unpleasant night. But other than that, pretty good.
All the sickness and whatnot gone. Now there's
although now sometimes if I eat it seems to be sugar. If I eat too much sugar, I basically poo myself now. So I can't have 5 cakes.
Can't do
I can have one
Sheepdog
cake
special.
But yeah, I can't get a kilogram box of broken biscuits and eat half of them in one go without then pooing myself.
I mean, that's what you soon learn to call a bit of spring cleaning. You have a dirty week.
Yeah, but there's no warning for it. It just kind of starts flowing.
Well, no,
it's
that's
terrifying.
The plan. Now you know that you can have something as innocuous as a box of biscuits to yourself, and the waterworks, the floodgates will open. It'll just clear you out. So now you just eat what you want. You're sorted for life. Just don't eat the stuff that's going to make you poo until you want to poo.
Yeah, Pab needs to bear this in mind when he takes us for ice creams when we're down in London, that I should not be having 3 scoops because I'm not making it back to the hotel.
I'm keeping it in mind that if I sneak like micro doses of sugar into your diet throughout a day, you're just going to explode. So I'm thinking that'd be quite fun. I'm with you all weekend, so look out for that one.
You're with me all weekend, so you want me to poo myself.
I mean,
early on in the weekend, you just want to be around poo-soaked Kev. I'm wearing orange shorts tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow while I've got my own car, maybe not on Sunday when I'm relying on you for transport.
I'll have soiled it, but you'll still have to be in the poo-soaked car on Sunday.
I mean, don't poo in the car, Kev.
I've just explained how I have no control over it. If you microdose me with sugar the whole time and I'm halfway back from Cambridge and I'm ready to go, I can't emphasise enough that I can't stop it from happening.
I mean, a clever poo assassin would dose you right up to the limit and let you go home, and then when you get there and Anna offers you a cup of tea or something and you just have that extra grain, pushes you over the edge, and then you assume that it was something she gave you that gave you the runs. That's what the wise man would do.
Yeah, but Anna wouldn't ever make me a cup of tea.
You don't like my tea?
I prepare food and drink in this house. I'm very particular.
Hey, I buy you special teas to make yourself.
Yeah, Anna got a. I mean, to emphasise how much Anna has changed since she left the hood 10 years ago. This week, 11 years ago when she left the hood, a Fortnum & Mason box arrived at our house this week where she'd just done an online order. She's not even going to wait until we go down and do our jam shopping now. She just orders it online, and we had a nice little gift box arrive.
I wanted some jam.
I was delighted to come home and realise I hadn't touched some of the marmalade I bought whenever it was we were there last, and was like, oh, I'm going to have that this week. And I did. I didn't poo myself, Kev. Imagine that.
I could have an amount of a portion of marmalade without pooing myself. I can't eat the entire jar Winnie the Pooh style, but then I don't think anyone should do that.
Shouldn't, but can whenever we want.
I mean, I'm hoping the pooing myself thing isn't going to be a long-term thing. Once my
it will even out.
Yeah, once I get used to my new amount of juices.
Yeah, you haven't got a storage for the juice, and now your body's just like, yeah, throw it all out, or don't throw any out, and it'll eventually just trickle out constantly, and yeah, it won't.
I don't want it. Tell me we're not still talking about poo. No, I don't want that to trickle out constantly. That sounds hideous.
Speaking of eating what you want, to try and keep my son's morale up this week, I've been just kind of trying to be fun, whatever. And I think it was yesterday I asked him what he wanted for breakfast, and he said 32 Weetabixes. And I started preparing it, and then he was like, actually 6. And I just carried on like, all right, whatever you say. Gave him his 6. And when I served him up, he was just sat there like, why did I say 6 Weetabix? This is ridiculous. And actually, he tried. He got through 4.5 of them before he started to get full up. But he's now decided he can eat 4.5, so that's what he wants every day. So just today I had to sort of go, no, you'll have 3. Yesterday,
no one wants to half a Weetabix. Exactly. Oh, can you imagine the mess?
Yeah, exactly. But no, the little look on his face when he saw me preparing him 32, he was like, oh, God. It's the guy who I was talking to here. But no, I'm impressed that he had a crack at 6.5. This is the same kid that I introduced to Skittlebix a few weeks ago. I think it was, when was it? I can't remember now. There was some reason or another why Skittlebix was a thing that I offered him for breakfast, and he really liked it, and we didn't tell his mum because she would kill me. But he basically had Weetabix with Skittles and milk and thought it was amazing. And yeah, I forget why I was trying to cheer him up at that point, but Weetabix-based rewards seem to work well with him. I don't know why. And Skittlebix is such a great idea. I wish I hadn't said it on our podcast because I could probably market that. Take it on Dragon's Den. I could be a millionaire.
I don't think normal people want to eat Skittles for breakfast. I think that's very much a you thing.
Don't know. Tweet at RB6K if Skittlebix sounds like a great meal. My kid loved it.
Now, if it was Maltesers, then I'd be interested. But I don't want a chewy sweet for my breakfast.
I mean,
even
what would you call
M&Ms.
that? Teaserbix.
Yeah, probably. Malteser Bix, or it doesn't need a name.
Of course it needs a name.
Skittlebix
is a great name. I mean, he keeps calling it the wrong thing. He tries to ask for it again, but I'm not letting him have it until he gets the name right. And he keeps trying to call it like Wheater Skittles or something. And I'm like, mate, come on.
That's a better name. Wheater Skittles is what I'm calling it from now on.
Skittlebix.
Well, I'm gonna bring Wheater Skittles to market, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You're gonna be my Pepsi to my Coke.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, it's been going well, though. Just coming up with new nonsense every day to keep him sane.
Splendid. Anyone else got any news before we move on to video games? I've decided to start opening it up for Pab to offer news.
I
did it last week.
I literally do have news.
Oh, blimey, okay.
I've just read this news headline now. Where have it gone? W.H. Smith to abandon High Street, so my plans to not open any more stores.
What the... What are you saying to... Hang on. I'm not having this.
Yeah.
That was harsh. Why would you tell him that on the show?
No, I'm having W.H. Smith. Because this... I have got a lot to do. Oh, they won't open anymore, so they're not closing the ones they've got. For goodness sake, Pab.
Surely that
that is what he said word for word, Kev. You're having to go at him for not listening to him.
Surely that means your days of pictures are numbered.
I
mean, they've got over 500 stores. There's no way I'm... 550 UK high street stores. I mean,
wait.
I've not got anywhere near that.
They're planning on breaking out into Europe and US.
World tour. Come on, then.
Airports and train stations in Europe and US.
Once,
Okay.
whichever clown is running the out of context accounts for the podcasts, once they pull their finger out and put together all of my WH Smith pictures, and we can actually catalogue how many we've got, I'll know at what point I need. I mean, I'll know if I've got less than 100 still to do. I'm going to go and do them in a week. But B, I'll know at what point I have to start travelling the world to do them. They've got 5 at Oslo Airport, 5 at Brussels Airport. They're going for it. Oh, Anna, should we go to Brussels? There's 5 WH Smiths at the airport.
Why would you need that many?
You love Brussels.
No, I don't.
Only at
Don't you-
Christmas.
Don't you remember Brussels last year? You loved it.
Last year was the year before, wasn't it?
No,
Oh, it was
last year
Oh,
we were
good
stranded
Lord.
in Brussels and you had a lovely time.
Oh yeah, nothing to eat. Horrible weather. Yeah.
I walked you through the urine tunnel though.
Yes, you did. That was.
Yeah, we could go there. WH Smiths. So whoever it is who's running those accounts, do something useful rather than making up quotes from the past, and find out how many WH Smith photos I've actually done. Unique ones. I don't want duplicates. I've been quite careful. I don't think I've got any duplicates. I have been pretty careful, but there's always the chance that I did the one at Liverpool Street Station twice 8 years apart or something like that. So I apologise if there are any duplicates, but I'm pretty sure it should be unique WH Smiths. I just need to know how many I've done, and I want them in a coffee table book.
I thought on iPhone you could type in a word on your pictures and it would show you all of the ones with that word. So if you put in WH Smiths, it would show you all the pictures that have those words in them.
Couple of drawbacks there, little fella.
Go on.
One, I didn't take them all. Bouncy took some, and they still made it to my Twitter. 2, they didn't even all get taken on an iPhone. It predates iPhone. And 3, I don't have all of my pictures on my phone because when I get a new phone, I don't re-download all my pictures. They just stay in my Dropbox.
Oh, they're in Dropbox. I was going to say.
I'm not an iCloud crazy. I use Dropbox, and it's all. So I've only got like my last year's worth of pictures on my phone. Everything prior to that is on Dropbox.
Well. I mean, that makes you a bit of a fool, really, doesn't it? Because you could have solved this very quickly.
Well, no, because I had those 2 years where I didn't have an iPhone because you made me move away to Android for a bit. So that they would have been missing. And like I say, it predates iPhone anyway. I've been doing this probably since before Twitter.
So the best thing from out of context person thing isn't going to be able to do them all either, surely?
Never you mind. They'll get more than I will. Basically, I don't want to do the work.
I feel like you're going to have to just you're going to have to go through them all one by one, get a map of Smiths out, and just make sure you visit them all.
I mean, I could start again, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I have typed WH Smith in on my phone. Yeah, I only get 7. And I'm wearing the same clothes in 4 of them, so I think they're at I think they're at an airport quite recently.
No.
So yeah, I've only got the really recent. Yeah, 5 of them are at Luton Airport on the 3rd of April. So yeah, that idea is ruined.
That's mad. I'm wondering if I type in Smiths, will it bring up any? For some reason, it brought up Tony Slavin, Ladies and Gentlemen Salon, Penny Lane Barbershop. There we go. Don't know why that's brought up Smiths.
There you go.
Why
If I type in just the word Smith, I get 30 photos, but several of them are of the home shirt that had every name of every player who'd ever played for home on it. God, that's picked that up small. That's quite impressive. They're tiny little words on there. Very impressive. Oh, and there's lots of pictures of Craig McHale Smith that come up as well.
I should type in Kev and see how many pictures of Kev come up.
All of them. Right, should we talk about video games?
I think I'm ready.
I've only played one in the last week. It was called Minecraft. It's very good. I'm still enjoying it. I don't really have anything new to say about Minecraft other than the fact that I am currently trying to build an iron farm whilst doing this podcast, which is proving to be quite tricky.
I saw
Minecraft.
immediately start an online Minecraft streaming thing the moment I was unavailable to join it. That was very kind of you.
I asked if you wanted to be in it. You didn't respond. You weren't in the room, but still. I've also put some careful criteria on it to make sure you can't get involved even when you are available.
I noticed.
I've been very careful to get this positioned just right. It's quite refreshing playing Minecraft without having to hold your hand all the way through it and tell you what to do.
I don't need you to hold my hand. I just needed you to tell me where the hell you'd wandered off to next.
I lost count of the amount of times I had to teleport you here, teleport you there.
Yeah, but that was a
You
you
love
problem,
being
not a me
teleporting.
problem. That was a you wandering off issue.
I do wander off. I like to wander off.
And then you're like, we have to go the way I'm going. And I'm like, well, you need to teleport me then because I don't know where you are.
You're a silly goose. I mean, the simple solution if you want to get involved is you need to do a few Football Manager streams and you can be invited in. I'm very loose.
What I was streaming like a month ago. I haven't streamed lately because I've been in hospital with Ollie. But
do a stream later on this evening, stream some Football Manager, and then I'll invite you into the server. I'm very loose with the criteria on what a Football Manager content creator in. Both Editor Chris and Thumbnail Boy Daryl are both in. So, I'm very loose on what counts as a Football Manager content creator. But
what I should have done is, while I was just on the topic of Football Manager, while I was in hospital with Ollie, that was probably the thing I played most because it was the quietest. At most, I could put it down and help him do a wee or whatever at any moment game that I could think of, and I just ploughed through like 6 seasons of the mobile version just on my phone every day playing that. That kept me saying I should have recorded some of that. That would have got me on Minecraft, wouldn't it? Could have been.
Would it? I mean, even if you'd have just been tweeting out your save all the way through, I think that counts as content.
You say it now. Where was this conversation while I was laying in that weird little bed?
You didn't. I mean, you could have instigated that conversation at any point. You could have said, "Hey, Kev, how do I get in this Minecraft server? Hey, Kev, what's happening there?"
That was weird. That wasn't me. I don't know where that come from. I had a little
Anna's watching TikTok, I think.
I'm not watching TikTok. I'm just sitting here.
Naughty Anna.
I mean, on the topic of football, there's nothing new to say about Minecraft from last week. I'm just still playing Minecraft. But on the topic of Football Manager, of course, we have had some big Football Manager news this week, which I assume you've all seen and all been very excited by.
No. What is it Unity it's going into?
Football Manager is moving to Unity from FM25, so the one that comes out next year, which basically means new and improved graphics, new match engine, new animations, new ball physics, new user interface, just new everything. It's basically being rebuilt. They're billing it as the first true sequel in decades, which I don't know if that's the brag they think it is, but the first true sequel in decades.
There was there's 3 things about what they said that concerned me a little bit. Like I am excited that it's going to be getting a proper revamp, but first true sequel in decades made me think, so you're admitting you've been phoning it in for a while. They announced that 2024, FM24, is going to be like their most complete version yet with all the bits in. And I thought, isn't that your shtick anyway? You just have the most complete one yet every year. Like this one, in theory, is the most complete one yet, isn't it? I don't understand what the brag. It almost feels like they didn't want people to go, well, I won't buy this year's one then. And so they've gone, it's the most complete one yet, which to me is enough. That's fine. I'm happy with it being complete and updated and so forth. But it's a really weird thing to say. Have they actually got anything planned for this one?
Genuinely don't know. I mean, I am tied inside and out with NDAs and legal stuff and blah blah blah. But yeah, I have seen nothing of FM24. I know nothing other than the fact that they're introducing the save game backwards compatibility, which they announced in the blog. When we went down there, the discussions were just FM25 discussions. So, yeah, I know nothing about FM24 other than the fact that they do seem pretty confident about it because for those of you who aren't aware, I was down in London last weekend at the Sports Interactive Studios and got a little bit of a sneak preview of all of this. The blog post that was released this week got read out to us by Miles, the studio director. And firstly, as he was reading it out, it's terrifying because if you read it back without looking at any of the headlines and go into it completely blind, the first half of it is just talking about the end and saying goodbye. And it's like, have they stopped like, he's 10 minutes in, and I'm like, he's not mentioned a new game yet. He just keeps talking about how this is going to be the last one. I was sat there getting the Times Educational Supplement jobs pages up because I'm having a little bit of a panic.
Your heart wouldn't have lasted long enough for you to apply for a job as a teacher. You'd have been long gone if he was shutting the game down.
Yeah, but then he eventually got on to all the FM25 new stuff, but I forget the point I was making there. The FM24. The fact they must be confident in it, because my first reaction when they were doing that was panic, because it was exactly that. Obviously, my income is completely reliant on the success of Football Manager. So if nobody cares about FM24 and they're just focused on FM25, which is a year and a half away, that's probably going to be quite hard on my bottom line for 18 months.
Exactly,
but obviously that was the first conversation any of us had with anyone from there, and they do seem confident enough with FM24. They basically said they wouldn't have done the FM25 announcements now if they weren't confident enough in FM24 to be able to say the next game, the FM25 is going to be really good, but so is FM24, so you'll get them both and they'll both be great. So the announcements for FM24 are going to be later down the line, later on in the summer. We usually get them sort of late August, early September. I imagine, again, no inside information on this, I imagine we'll start getting features around then again, like we do every year. And hopefully when those features do drop, they'll be exciting and it will be a bit of a step forward. Not as big of a step forward as we're going to get the year after, but a step forward all the same. They're talking about some of the graphical improvements, and certainly some of the animation stuff should start showing in this year's game, because the animation improvements are kind of separate from the engine stuff. It's all very technical and I don't really understand, but apparently we'll start seeing some graphical improvement this year. And exciting times all round, apparently, hopefully. We shall see. But yeah, certainly FM25 looks like it's going to be awesome. Just that list of things that are all going to change in one go. It's like everything people have been asking for 10 years. So
I think
excitement.
My other slight concern was that Unity took a bit of a hit in its reputation. Was it last year, year before? Got bought out by a new company, and their big focus was basically on adding lots of monetization into games and microtransactions and making it easier for you to, fill your games with marketing. And it's like, could FM end up looking like? I mean, the mobile game is not riddled with them. It's got lots of little. Oh, you could spend £1 to train this person or unlock this rule, and that's not the end of the world. It doesn't cause me any issues playing it, but I am a bit like, what if the new one has lots of that? Did they mention anything like that in their sort of release, do you know?
Nice weather we're having, isn't it?
No comments. All right, fair enough. I'll leave it there. But no, I'm excited to see what happens. It's nice for them to try something, and I'm sure if they put something in there that's egregious, they'll fix it. Do you know what I mean? Companies try things.
I am 100% confident, based on the time I spent down there at the weekend, that FM24 is going to be better than FM23, and FM25 is going to be even better than that. I think we're going to see two games that both improve on what's come before, and I think that's the important thing, and just hopefully the excitement from the paying public matches up with that. Because what we don't want is a load of people saying, "Oh, well, I'll just skip FM24 then."
Yeah, well, that's what one of my mates said to me.
That'd be a disaster.
And I was like, "No, don't do that. I don't think you need to do that." I didn't say don't do that. I don't care. It's not my bottom line. But
I mean, ultimately, it's a £30 game that comes out once a year.
Exactly.
And you'll play it for 1,000 hours. Just spend your £30.
Yeah, that
I'd
was
spend £30 just for the data updates, which is basically what we did last year. But and it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's exciting anyway. It's good stuff. It's funny hearing them make changes and seeing what happens with it. I'm going to use this as a segue into... I know I talk about this game too much and all of this, but it's been an interesting month for... I don't know if you've seen in the news this week that Niantic have laid off 250 people, and they're claiming the economic downturn and the state of the world and the reasons and all of this. And literally everyone is saying to them, no, we stopped spending money on your game because you made it so you could only do 5 of these remote raids at a time, but you doubled the cost of them. So nobody's even doing 5. I've stopped doing them. I only do them when I get like a free pass somehow or whatever. They just brought out some really crummy boxes that were like spend 200 coins to get 100 balls and an egg incubator, and it was like, well, the balls are free everywhere and the incubator costs 100, so I won't do that. Really weird stuff like that they've been doing for the past few months, and now they've suddenly gone, oh god, we're not making any money. They've cancelled their NBA game, they've cancelled their basically there's like 6 games they've just cancelled overnight. They had a Monster Hunter one coming out that's now in doubt. They have I think they're basically limiting themselves to Pokemon Go Peridot, which is their new game where it's basically Pokemon Go, but they own all the characters, and some Monster Hunter game that I said is in doubt, but they've said it's going to continue going, and they are adamant that they're adamant for ages they weren't losing any money because of their weird decisions. Now they're adamant they've laid off all these people because of the economy and not because of their stupid decisions, and everyone is just like, you guys running the show have absolutely shat the bed here. Like, you just have absolutely ruined it. I don't understand. That must be like outward talk for just, I don't know, making excuses while back end they're probably getting nailed to the wall. But it's been really interesting seeing that, because I don't know if you saw, again, earlier in the week, they randomly out of the blue expanded how far you could catch Pokemon from. So at home I usually get 3 or 4 spawns, but I was getting all the spawns in about a 100-meter radius, maybe a bit less than that. And it meant I was getting like 20, 30 Pokemon appear. And it was quite fun. It was nice. Everyone who works on them, so people like you for Football Manager in Pokemon world, asked them, was this intentional? And they replied to all of them individually, yes, it was intentional. And then they put out a public news update saying, some of you are apparently getting larger spawn points. This wasn't intentional. We're going to reverse this now. And the whole world has been in meltdown all week about it, because... yeah, why reverse it? Everyone was quite happy with it, and they've just forced an update tonight to say, goodbye to that. So now I'm back to having. There was last I looked, there was like 2 Pokemon outside my house, and I just thought, this game is run by weird people. But I'm hoping they'll fix it. Like I said about, if FM do something silly that people don't like, maybe they'll have a chance to reverse it. My game is currently going through that. They've effed about, now they're finding out, and we're going to see what happens next. But I think we're on the cusp of that game being bought out by Game Freak or the Pokemon Company, whichever one is the big one out of the two. I think it's the Pokemon Company. I reckon they're not going to be... I would be surprised if they were still running that game in 18 months' time, personally. I think it's at a point now where they are running out of rope. And yeah, it's been interesting. It kept me sane in the hospital with Ollie, though. I was right in range of the Pokemon gym and 2 stops. So if I wasn't playing Football Manager, I was basically laying in bed, catching Pokemon and trying to do all the different challenges that came on.
Surely, rather than it being bought out, the more reasonable solution would be to just knock it on the head. It's been like 6 or 7 years. Just bin it. It's done. It's ran its course.
It's not that kind of game, though, is it? It's like, you would say that about Simpsons Tapped Out, for example, and that's still going. They still make money
but it's not being bought by a different company to keep it going 6 or 7 years in.
Pokemon Go Pokemon Company did that with the card game, didn't they? They were able to just they had another company running it. They brought it into their house themselves. They run it as their own card game. So they would probably do that with this game. There's no way they would just let it die. The amount of money that it can make and did make up at literally. It was making record, they'd brought out the remote raid passes and stuff like that, and it was they'd somehow broken the records they were making in 2016, and then out of nowhere they were like, yeah, this isn't really the vision we have for the game, so we're going to reverse all this stuff over here. People went berserk, and they've just refused to sort of change it, and as I say, they've just laid off 250 people, and it's like, geez, come on, guys, like, look at what you're doing, you maniacs. But yeah, they've got Gen... But they're halfway through Gen 7 on it. They've got 8 and 9, plus a couple of other little bits from other games. So they've got at least 2 more gens, which means probably at least 3 more years' worth of content. And there'll be another gen out before then, so that's going to be another... Basically, they're at a point where as long as they have a gen coming out every 2 years, they'll probably be all right for content until they run out of Pokemon, which they won't, will they, I guess? And they can just bring out all different versions of them and stuff like that. It's basically what they've been doing, but it's just being ran by people who... just seem to not like making money all of a sudden, which is bizarre. So it's interesting that they've cancelled all those stupid games that were not the right fit for an AR game. Like, they need to actually look for things that are AR fitting games. Like I've said to you before, I'm not going to spend the weekend pitching AR games at you, not like before with the volleyball films and the other things I was just randomly throwing at you. But I have got several ideas in my head where I was like, I should go and make an AR game. I'm not going to make an AR game. I've not got time, but I should, because I reckon I could make money out of that the way they're not. Basically, they're trying to just slap Harry Potter on it and go, "Hey, buy it," and it just immediately runs out of steam. But yeah, no, I think Pokemon Company will end up taking it over somehow. I don't really know exactly how, but I think it's very unlikely it will just die.
We'll see.
You've been wrong all the time so far, so this will be the one time you're right when you make calls about this stuff.
And then I'll laugh.
Yeah. Are you finished with your games? Because I can probably carry on riffing with my bits.
I have, but before you do that, I think we should probably sling in an advert. Well done, Pabby. Good slinging. Back to Sheepdog.
That man hasn't slung an ad in about 3 years, and you know it.
How would you know?
Because I'm the one who gets
You
all the
don't
messages, goes, Sheepdog, Pab's not done an ad again. And I'm like, I've looked at the stats, I've checked I've marked his own work, and it's definitely there. It definitely says it.
There's a solution to that.
What is that?
Start recording your own ads, and then
Get him,
provide them
Pabby.
to me to put in.
No, you're right. If anyone out there wants us to, plop an ad
Nobody
in.
wants us to record our own adverts. Why would anyone want that?
No, for them, Kev, not just randomly. Any listeners want to hear an ad?
Yeah, that's weird.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about if any listeners have something they want us to advertise, they could get in
Oh,
contact.
no, we're not advertising their trash.
Even if they pay us good money, Kev, I mean, you'll endorse anything. That was your motto.
We'll see.
But yeah, so obviously my gaming has been a bit weird this past few weeks because one thing I didn't know hospitals did these days, children's wards. Ollie's room had a PS3 in it. I think it was PS3, which I was just like, oh, nice. I thought I will game on this so much, and then we gamed on it for the first 2 days and didn't touch it again after that. But he made me sit and play through the entirety of Sonic 1, which is a very random game to pick on PS3. But even when he wasn't particularly paying attention anymore and I was going to put it down, he was like, no, complete it. I was just like, I don't really want to. I'm playing it because you're a bit out of it on morphine and I'm a bit bored and you wanted to know what the levels were like. But I am proud to say, I was going to say I'm proud to say I completed it all the way through, but then I remembered there was a rewind button that he kept making me use. I wanted to just get game over and use continues, but then there was a rewind thing on it because it was one of the newer releases. But that was fun to play through. What else did we play? I'm trying to think now. He ended up with everything. He ended up with a Switch at one point, and he was playing Sonic Frontiers on there and getting me to help him with that. And I've not played that properly before, so trying to help him on that without playing it was hard. Since getting home, I've started my own playthrough on it on my Switch, but I'm only like 45 minutes an hour through. I feel like I'm rattling through it. I've done like 3 bosses, I want to say, and yeah, that's an awesome game. I'm very impressed with it. I know you guys, Pab, I think, has already reviewed it.
No, I've not played. I only played me and Kev only played the demo at EGX, I think.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, no, I was like,
that's all we've seen of it. We were waiting for you.
I played the demo 3 times, I think.
Yeah. Okay, I had it in my head that one of you had played it all the way through.
No,
I feel like I have.
Yeah, I bet you have. This is cool. This is very cool. I'm a bit confused. Well, no, I'm not confused. Sorry, I was a bit confused at the start because it said, when's your birthday or whatever, and I put my birthday in, and then it was like, would you like it to do birthday mode? And I thought it just meant like in August if I'm still playing it. And I was thinking, yeah, whatever. I'm probably not going to be playing it in a month and a half. And then when it started, Sonic was wearing a hat and birthday glasses and a bow tie, and I was very confused. And then it said "Happy Birthday, Sonic." I was like, it's Sonic's birthday, isn't it? Yeah, okay. And I'm guessing that nobody else who played it originally at the start had the whole start of the game. Well, the game's just riddled with birthday presents everywhere, and the music is just Happy Birthday, but in like a Sonic the Hedgehog style. The instruments from the Sonic theme tune sort of thing. And I was just going around thinking that's really changed the mood of the game for me, that it's just like "Happy Birthday" constantly. But it does change tracks. The music on it's very cool otherwise. Like, I'm very impressed with the style to it all. And my only, not complaint, but like struggle has been the amount of times I inexplicably throw myself off a cliff, and I just feel like putting me back to the start of the level is horrendous. Like, games these days usually just chuck you to the side where you fell off Mario Kart style, but not in a racing game, just running around game. And this one just goes, yeah, no, you have to start again at the most recent checkpoint, and you haven't gone through one yet, therefore you have to start the level again. So being at the start of the level and 2 minutes into it was a bit of a soul destroying thing. I was trying to restart it, but it wouldn't let me just hit restart like on the zone. It just forced me to finish with the terrible time, and then I redid it. But the bosses have been cool. I started thinking, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able. My old man brain is going to cope with these fast-paced moves and all of that. But the bosses are quite clever to figure out, and that kind of intuitive to work out what you're supposed to do. And whenever there's a loading screen, while it's loading, it does like a countdown of like, you've got 20 seconds to do as many of these training things as you can. We'll give you a star for each one you do. And then it just tells you what moves to try and do. And it's like tap B, B, Y, A, and it'll do this move. And you can just see if you can get it working. And that's been quite cool because I feel like it has trained me to do a few things I didn't know I could do. I've been learning how to do like an extra jump or an extra sort of glide through the air, or there was a way to jump, hit the ground and spin forward and stuff like that. I can't quite remember how to do that one, and I keep trying to get it right and failing it. But yeah, it's cool. It recognizes that it's difficult to control without training you, and it is making an effort to do that, which is fantastic. I'm loving that. I reckon a part of me is like, do I want to continue playing this on my own, or is it one that I should play on stream because it's quite chilled, it's quite good music, I can chat while I'm doing it. I don't know. I'm just weighing up what to play next, because I was playing Midnight Suns. I haven't touched that as much since we got back, but I don't know. That's a lot of talking in that game. I was expecting that to be more XCOM-y, and it's more drama-y with
more
bits
Fire
in between.
It's half XCOM, half Persona.
Yeah, it just feels extremely. Well, is Persona all conversations then?
Half of it is, yeah.
I just don't feel like that's suited to streaming, is it really? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people do. I always find it awkward when I have to pay attention to a conversation while paying attention to other conversations and expecting the chat to somehow pay attention. But I know most of them probably aren't, because they're just there to hang out and have a chat and chill. So I don't know. I feel like it was a mistake to play that one, and I'll probably do one of my polls of just which one of these shall I play, because I want to play something that's just chilled out while we all chat. And Football Manager did not go down very well when I played that the other week. No one wanted to watch it. I was very surprised. Normally that's quite a safe bet. I fancied playing it. I wanted to play it. I played it for a bit, and yeah, no one fancied it. I was like, oh, fair enough. I won't play that on stream again. I'll just play it on my own. I'm trying to work out a way to have it on in the background while I'm working and stuff like that, which feels like it's going to hammer my electricity bill, but I won't let Claire know that I'm doing that. What else? I feel like I played other stuff and I can't think of. We ended up with like an Xbox in the hospital for a bit where we were playing Fortnite, which was very surprising.
Okay.
I mean, they sort of
Go on.
someone I can't remember. I think my wife said, "Is Ollie old enough to play that?" And I was like, "He's pretty much. He's nearly 12." And the nurse just kind of pretended she didn't hear what we were saying and walked off and let us play it. So he just ended up playing Fortnite, and I helped him out a bit. We joined in. He was doing the zombie thing on it for a while, the single player.
Save the world.
Yeah, I don't think he got particularly far in that. I tried to help him a bit, but that looks decent. That looks like it's quite, he was enjoying it when it was going okay. He was raging when it wasn't going the way he wanted it to. But yeah, that was all right. We also had, as I say, God, he ended up with every console basically. He had a Switch, an Xbox, and a PlayStation in there, but it wasn't a new PlayStation. Otherwise, he could have had the full current gen of games. And yeah, no, it was just interesting how much kit they had in it. It was very cool. I think that's my lot. I think other than that, I'm so close to completing the Pokédex and Pokemon Home again by doing all the different forms that I've missed. I know I mentioned that last time. I'm like 6 away now or something. But other than that, I've just doing my usual. It's me done.
Cool. Kevin was very quiet then.
It's because I had my microphone muted. I had to unmute in order to say something.
Unmute.
Why were you on mute?
I often mute whenever people are talking so that I don't get keyboard taps come through and stuff like that. I'm a considerate podcaster.
Very good. I keep meaning to try and I want to just like get a more accessible mute button, because I'm an idiot with this one. If I accidentally press it, I don't know I'm muted. But also, if I press it on purpose, I can't see it because it's on the back of the mic. But if I had something that I could just knock and it'd be muted, and then I could just knock it again and unmute, that would be splendid. But I don't trust myself to remember unless it's really obvious and red in my face and all of that kind of thing. So I have to just behave.
I think no. Stream Deck. That would
If I had a
work,
kit like that, yeah, it would work. I don't have a mixer.
No, I don't think you need a mixer. A Stream Deck you could set up a button on that to mute your microphone in Windows.
Oh right, yeah, maybe. I probably could do it on Audacity quite easily, but we probably don't need to talk about this on the podcast. So yeah, over to you and Anna. Have you played anything this week?
Oh goodness, what have I played? Okay, I have predominantly been playing Final Fantasy 16. How about you, Anne? Have you been playing Final Fantasy 16?
It's deleted from my console.
What?
Really? Why?
I hate it. It's awful.
Why?
Awful
Wait,
game.
what? Wait.
Awful game.
Why?
Hate it.
At what point did you stop? What?
I don't like it. It's not Final Fantasy. It's not Final Fantasy what I like, and I got to where he got to change some armor, and I turned it off. I just turned it off. I can't bother anymore. This is so boring. It's not Final Fantasy X. It's not. I don't like it, and I've deleted it from my console. So.
Wow.
Yeah, don't like it.
Do you know,
I might go back to it in like years, but I have no interest in playing this. It's so boring.
do you get the feeling like? I mean, I don't know if this is just me, right? I knew this game was it existed and all of this, but I feel like I don't know where they've been marketing it. But when I saw people talking about it being out, I thought a demo had come out. I mean, I've been a bit.
Oh, a demo did. It was great. The demo was great.
I mean, I'm talking about like this past week. It came out whenever it came out. Like how long's it been out?
A week
now?
ago.
A couple of weeks. Week ago.
It came out 1 week.
When everyone was going mad about it last week, I thought a demo had dropped, and then it was only after a little bit of time that I was like, "You're telling me Final Fantasy 16 has just come out?" And I wasn't anticipating it. I hadn't been like agonizing over how I was going to play it. Wasn't trying to see whether I could get PS5. This just hasn't. I knew it was vaguely there coming up soon, but the fact that it came out last week. I mean, again, I was preoccupied with Ollie, but yeah, and what I've seen of it, I've not heard anyone be raging about it. I've only heard people be like, "Meh,"
really?
and a little bit of, the odd person has been like, "Oh, I'm playing it, it's fun," but it looks like it's extremely serious, extremely, I can't think of the right word. It's like a lot of watching cinematics, a lot of, I don't know. It doesn't seem
Boring.
like it's the fun sort of adventure that they used
Very
to be.
boring.
15 was like that. 15 felt a little. I mean, 15 was fun enough, but it felt boring in that it was basically a quick stag do before a guy got married. It was like, whereas
I would rather play 15 than this.
The story's in like 12. Story was a big war. 10 story was obviously that journey to take Yuna to be basically murdered, just take her on a little murder trip. 9 was about thieves, 8 was about the school of military people, 7 was about the eco-terrorists. There's all those cool stories there, and then the weird stag do, and I don't even know what the real premise of this one is. It just seems like a 30-hour film or something.
Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yes, is it basically Game of Thrones?
Because the entire staff that made this game have seen Game of Thrones, and boy, did they put it in this game. Oh, and I don't know if that's what's kind of dragging me along, because that's all I want to know is what's going on with the story. I
mean, that's a good thing, but I think
I've gone the opposite way. I think this is great, but I don't like Final Fantasy games. I don't like Final Fantasy traditional games. I really like the way this game plays.
Don't you find it weird that they insist on trying to make Final Fantasy appeal to non-Final Fantasy fans so often? It's very bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do.
I don't get why like that seems to be their aim. That's been their aim for the past like 15 years. Even though
It
was,
already
like,
has a fan base. Like,
yeah, and a very big fan base that they made a lot of money out of. But they seem to have consistently tried to move away from it and made less fun games for the people that like them. And yeah, I every time there's a complaint with something, people are like, "Oh, that's what I like about it." It's like, well, why are they trying to do that? What is? It's very bizarre. Are they then going to ditch you in 10 years to switch back to our side or something?
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it's just odd.
What did you think of 7 then, the remake?
Yeah,
well,
fine. I had no issue with that one.
I thought it was fine, but I stopped playing it. I got to there was like an annoying puzzle, and it was the only place you could get the all materia. And
that was easy.
I got it. No, but I kept getting really ill playing it. It was making me really motion sick, and I got it, and then I died something went wrong in the next room, and then when I was replaying that bit, I accidentally missed the materia, and it saved, and then I was just like, oh. So I just turned it off and haven't gone back to it. And I keep thinking I might one day play it when the whole thing's out, perhaps.
Yeah.
But, I was sort of thinking of part 2 of that's out soon, isn't it?
End
It's
of
in
the
the
year, is it
adverts,
next year?
yeah.
I can't remember what the trailer said at the Game Awards.
Yeah, a friend of
Might
mine
be
sent
end
me
of
the
the
ad,
year, but
and I was
can't
just like,
remember.
oh, cool.
I think it might be, but it's on. Well, no, it's going to PlayStation 5 on 2 discs. So,
How much of the game is that one going to be? Do you know yet?
it doesn't. I don't
Who
know.
knows?
I mean, I couldn't tell you anyway. Even I wouldn't have any terms of
No,
reference
yeah,
anyway.
it's more aimed at Anapab, but thank you for trying.
I don't know.
It's just weird. I mean, that one feels like it makes sense because they're taking the classic and they're trying to make it modern and cool and really, really polished. But I don't know, just making Game of Thrones the game just feels, just do that. Why do you have to always slap Final Fantasy on it when it's nothing like a Final Fantasy game? It's weird behavior. I just don't. I know. I appreciate trying new things. I appreciate trying to grow and whatnot, but completely reinventing it in a way that isn't anything like any of the other games you've done and is really, really detached is wild. A few bands are like keep trying to do that, and it's like they then go, "Oh, we're really sorry, we've lost all of you. We need to go back to our roots." And it's like, yeah, I mean that's a no-brainer. I don't understand why. I get wanting to do what you want to do, but it feels weird sometimes when you actively go out of your way to, I don't know, ditch everyone. It's very odd. I don't get it. Maybe one day I'll understand it. Just Final Fantasy baffles me.
Well, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
What's the gameplay like?
Have you played Devil May Cry?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Have you played God of War?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is what people compare it to, and I didn't think Devil May Cry last week initially. After playing more and now having free powers, as it were, I can kind of see it in certain aspects where you can, juggle enemies up into the air and then slam them back down, and it's very fast combat, I feel, at times, with a lot of cutscenes, and sometimes I hate that, in the sense of I just want to play the game and get to where I'm going, and I don't want to do 3 separate cutscenes from me going from a field into an elevator, up to the elevator, move 2 feet, got another cutscene coming out the elevator, and then run to the bar or wherever it is I'm going, and then another cutscene going into there, move another 2 feet to the actual bar itself, and then another cutscene. That annoys me. Just let me play the game. I don't need 5 cutscenes between getting into town and getting into the town bar. I don't need that. Either just give me all cutscene from me getting into thing, or let me walk in and get a cutscene at the actual thing. But
Do you know what? I'm tempted to watch this on YouTube because of how you've just described it. I feel like
it's
there's no
just
point,
awful.
There's no point playing it if it's just like that. So I might just watch it through, not give them any money.
The cutscenes. That's the stuff that annoys me. The story cutscenes, I'm in for though. I'm in for, and I don't know what this stuff's going on about. I don't know the lore of Final Fantasy because it's all not in the same world. Is it in the same world?
No, they're never connected. This is all standalone.
It's all, there's ether and is the mother crystals. Is that a thing that's in other games? So
I mean, some of them have crystals, but they're never the same crystals.
No. But
Ethers are basically the same thing. You always know what they're going to do, though.
Yeah, I don't know. There's mother crystals, and I don't know. There's just something to it. There's just something that's keeping me going. I want to know what's happening with Clive, and what is happening with the whole greater story, and what's going on with Joshua, his brother, and I don't know. It's kind of fascinating, and like I say, I don't hate the combat at all. I find sometimes it's a bit. Sometimes it's well, I'm playing on story mode because I wanted to play the story. I'm just playing on the easiest mode, and I keep saying, I think we had this discussion last week, and I probably should take it up a level. The basic enemies, I'm rejoicing at the fact that when they turn up because it's as clean them out immediately. It's so simple. It's just mash the buttons and it just cleans them out. But bosses,
Yeah, but I find that so boring.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I initially was like, well, I want it on, and I'm going to turn it up a level because it's too easy. But then the bosses, I don't know if it's just me not really embracing the whole combat system, but I'm going through all of my potions in a boss fight.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And absolutely, they're hard. And
it's because in other Final Fantasy games, you can have 99 potions and 99 high potions. This gives you 4 of each. 4.
Yeah. I feel
it's not the same. It's just, I can't be bothered. I have no, like, they have all these charms. So one charm does the blocking for you. One has the dodge. One has controls the dog. The other one controls what powers you use. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's boring. I have no interest in the story. I have no interest in the combat. So I just couldn't be bothered. It was just like I was doing, like you said, I was in this village and I got stopped, and then I got stopped again and talked about the same thing. Then it's the same thing again, and it's just like they're regurgitating in this one bit of story, and I'm like, I already know this. Stop going on about it. So yeah, I turned it off. There's no turn-based, there's no strategy, there's no nothing. Like, I liked to sit there and plan out what spells I was going to use, how I was going to use it, even in the battle you had like I think it was in 10, I think, where you had like this blitz. I can't even remember what it's called. It's been so long. But there's like power-ups and stuff like that. And this just doesn't seem to have it. It just seems to be like, oh, here's a bit of fire. Here's a bit of like a bit of big wing. Oh, here's some claws. But they weren't anything that I know from Final Fantasy. Like, where was Cure and where was all the other magic? No, I just no, thank you.
So what I learned,
waste of time.
What I learned today is because I have that amulet on that the dog automatically does all its stuff for you. Mm-hmm. If you go into the dog menu, they hit the dog as a heal, and you can get the dog to heal you. I didn't even know that. And I don't know if it's just been,
yeah.
I don't even know it was
so
a thing.
Weird.
I didn't even know it might have been doing that automatically anyway. If I was getting low on health, it might have been doing that anyway. I just never noticed it.
It just seems that all the accessibility gubbins, so like your dodge and your like help with play, is all based on these amulets, and you can't just equip them before the game starts. So like you can't use your amulets and whatnot for like attack, like put your attack up or anything. It seems like if you have all of them equipped, because you can have all of them equipped, you can't have any of the other things that you use in the game. It just seems a bit, I don't know, like...
I wonder if that's to do with the start of the game, and I'm wondering whether it's just to ease you into it, sort of thing. Because I've taken some amulets off now at some point, just for amulets that give me a better percentage damage on abilities.
People who have disabilities who can't do the quick dodge or just want to play the game and need all that help, you can't use because
I don't think those amulets are there for that reason. I think that if that is the reason, I think that's just their lack of accessibility options in general rather than them.
Because like in other games you would have that in the menu.
Yes,
do you know what I mean?
yes.
There'd be a menu for all that, and this is here, use all your slots for.
Yeah, like I say, I don't think that is the intention for. Because for me, that just means that's just bad on their part for not putting that into the menus. I don't think that they put them in them to make you. If you need accessibility, then you have to use a slot up. I don't think that's the reason they did it,
But yeah, I as a Final Fantasy fan will not play this for a long while. I might do if I get bored, but
I genuinely don't know how much. I don't know how far. I don't know how to say how long I've been playing it. I want to say I've been playing it for at least 12 to 15 hours now. I want to say. I've just got a chocobo, so I now have a mount, which is apparently missable. You can miss the chocobo.
Really?
And just continue to run around the game. It's apparently there are side quests with like a plus icon on them, and you want to do those ones because those are the ones that provide you with something other than just like materials after doing side quests. You will provide you with something major, and this one was a quest about chocobos, and I got a chocobo, so now I can ride around a lot faster because you don't really run very fast in this game, which was annoying. But yeah, I don't like I say, I don't know how far I'm into the game. I don't know whether I'm near the end.
Well, I didn't get that far.
I don't think I'm near the end because I think there are 5 mother crystals in the game, and I'm now going to my second mother crystal. I think
there's a worrying thing about the past few Final Fantasies that I've played, though, is that it's not clear when you're near the end, and suddenly you find you are at the end, and you're like, well, okay, that didn't feel like I was building to that at all. Maybe that's just my experience of it, but I think
I mean, you might be right. Like I say, I don't know.
15.
I don't know. It's keeping me going though. I do want to keep playing it and seeing where it goes and seeing what's going to happen with the story as to where the twists and turns are coming. I did some weird stuff. There's some weird stuff I did, and I didn't know what it was. But there's some weird stuff that went on at a certain point in a battle, and I was like, I don't know what this is. And even if I said it to you, I don't necessarily think you would even know what it is that I'm talking about. I don't necessarily think this is something that's been in previous Final Fantasies. I think probably the crossover is probably chocobos and Moogles. Is it Moogles?
Mm-hmm.
Their thing, yeah. There's a Moogle in the game, but again the Moogle I don't understand because everyone says Moogles aren't real, but then I talk to a Moogle, and there's a Moogle always in my base, and I'm going, am I the only one seeing this? I don't understand why. I don't know why I'm the only one
playing too many games, Pebby.
I don't know why I don't even know what a Moogle. I have no terms of reference for what a Moogle is. I just was like, oh, it's a funny thing, and then everyone's going, oh, these little kids talking about the Moogles, and then the guy goes, you know they're not real. I'm like, wait, I can see it. I don't.
You can also understand it. Nobody else can.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does talk, doesn't it? It does talk. That's right. It does. It's like a Detective Pikachu thing again.
It's so weird, yeah, because weird, they are prevalent in other games. I don't understand why this one is just, oh, I'm on my own. Only you can understand me. Like in other games, they were the postmasters and stuff like that. It's just so very strange. I don't get it. No.
I don't know. I'll keep playing it. I will see how far I get. I don't know how far I'll get into it before falling off. Something else comes and takes my attention.
But the this game peaked at the demo. The demo was excellent. Couldn't fault it, but I wish I'd only played that.
You stopped when you collected a new outfit from a woman in a town with windmills.
Yeah, I went a bit further, and then there was this big fight with something, and I didn't want to do it. I was just like, I can't bothered. Because like the boss fights are just so relentless. They're like at times I feel like they could be 15-20 minutes. Yeah, and they're so long and laborious, and I was just, I can't bother. I don't want to do it. I don't care enough to do that anymore. So yeah, I turned it off. At that point, there was like a big doodah happened, and basically I had to face my fears, and I was like, nah.
Well, you got to face your fears. You got to face your fears and
couldn't
face
be
reality.
bothered.
Admit to the reality, however it is. I can't remember.
Yeah, but I already knew what my reality was. I was like,
you said last week, I already know what the story's far
yes,
too predictable.
And
I had a feeling of what it was, and I was right. And
yeah.
But there are more things afoot after that, and yeah, it's interesting.
I went through a big chamber thing. That's what I was doing. I did that. That was fine. It was enjoyable, but then it just you got to the end and it wasn't what you thought it was. It's just like, I could have written this myself. Not for me, unfortunately. But I'm happy other people are enjoying it. Like, I enjoyed Final Fantasy when I was younger. Obviously, they want a younger, newer audience, maybe. But
would young people be into this, though, from what you described?
I reckon that younger people like faster-paced games, when in the old ones, it would be like a long battle, or you have to think about it, whereas this is press a button. If you press the button enough times, you'll be fine. That's what I feel like. Whereas when we played the games, it was like, you have to think about it, you have to know what you're doing, make sure you've got the right weapons, make sure you've got the right powers, make sure you've got the right party. This doesn't really care. Like, it seems that because like in other games you would have a party of like 3 or 4, and you would be telling them what to do. Each one would be powered by you. Like, you would be saying that one would do cure, and that one would do lightning, this one would do it splits attack. Yeah, you only have you in this. Obviously you have like other members, but they don't
do their own thing. I hate that. Ugh.
Yeah, you're not controlling them, sort of thing. They're in your party, but you aren't controlling them. They're doing their own thing. Which can work for you in certain aspects. It lets you focus on one thing. I don't know, but I found the boss battles, I find dodging things incredibly hard. In the sense of, sometimes I do it and I go, right, okay, I've got it, and then sometimes I get like, and they can like double or triple shot you with things, and you get hit, and you can't dodge out of a shot. You're getting hit, and you're like, I can't get out of it. I'm locked into this shot, and some AoE attacks are too big for my dodge. So I can't. I'm like trying to dodge away at this massive circle, and it's like I can't dodge out of it because it's too big. And I'm trying to run away from this AoE attack that's incoming, but I can't get out of it in time to.
No.
And that frustrates me, but I don't know. I'm playing it on easy, so I don't know. I'd hate to be playing it on anything harder than this, because I feel like I'd be dying a lot. I've only died once. And that was to a rare enemy. That was to a rare enemy. There was a purple enemy appeared on the map, and I went to see it, and apparently it gives you good items and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, how hard can it be? And it turns out, it's like a normal enemy that you just see on the map, but it's like boss level hard. And I was like, okay, never mind.
Wow.
I just skirted around that area, and I was like, I'm not going near that thing again, because I'm not doing all my stuff on that. No chance. Not worth it. So, I'll continue playing this for, like I say, until it breaks my attention or I finish it. Well, one or the other. So if you haven't been playing that, Anna, what have you been playing?
What? Oh, because my son decided to throw a Xbox out the window. I had to obviously reinstall everything on his Xbox, and as I was doing that, I remembered we were playing Disney Dreamlight
Valley.
There we go.
Yeah, I touched that recently with Ben. I'd forgotten all about that and all.
And I remember when I was playing with him, he needed some bits and bobs collecting, so I collected it for him. Like, I had to make some rails or something for Wally, and so I just left it at that on his, obviously, and just installed everything, and then went back to my own on the Xbox, my own Valley, because obviously I can't play with the child because they don't do it right. So I've just been doing that, in just playing the game. I've gone to the cave with Ursula in, and I have to what do I have to do? Oh, I have to go to this other cave I have to go to, and I don't remember this cave being so convoluted before, because I thought what I remember with Andy is I went down to the bottom, collected something, and then that was the beach area done. Not this time. This time I've got to go in. I've got to give it some crystals. I get past that door. Now I've got a door where I've got to give it plants. I was like, I don't remember.
Yeah, that's how it's
being
always
like
been.
this.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Andy must have done it then, because I don't remember doing it
Yeah,
for
because
him.
Ben, I think Ben tried to do it and he ballsed a lot of it up, so I had to.
Yeah.
Luckily, he accidentally deleted ours, and so I restarted it and did it all cleanly while he watched. But, yeah, no, that was convoluted, and
yeah. It was. So I've been trying to do that because I got the crystals, because this is like a first area for the cave. You have to give it crystals. The crystals are fine, but then there was like the next one, which I had to give it plants, which is fine. But when you want plants that you can't find, oh my god, I was losing my mind, because like I needed corn. And at the start of the game, you have loads of seeds, loads of them, and I've got loads of corn like in my inventory, but I have no seeds. And I was just walking around, because the only way you get seeds is either buy them from Goofy if he has them, or the dark thorns that grow around your estate, you can get them from them. But I'm a stickler for the dark thorns. If I see them, they go immediately. I don't like them being there because they spoil it. They're not supposed to be there. And could I find corn? No. Oh my god, it took me ages to find a dark thorn it was the last one I had. I fixed it from the root, and I finally got some corn. But then I went down there, and all plants look the same. Well, some, like, I've got the tomato, and I've got the carrot, and I've got the corn, but I don't know what I've planted. And they all look the same until they bloom. So I sat there for 5 minutes going, bloom, please, just like, you know how they pop, and then they're
some take longer than others, don't they? But
I just turned it off after a while. I was like, why are you not popping? I've given you water. I have sat here. I know you take a bit longer. So yeah, that was doing my head in. But like, there's so much to do. Like, it's not a criticism, but you find things and I don't know what to do with them. I found a gold potato and a red potato. Now, you can't cook these, but I don't know what to do with them. And they're just like
what
there.
You'll find, see, I was just having a quick look, because last time I played it with Ben, they'd just brought in Simba and Nala, but we didn't get them unlocked. But what you say about there's so much to do, it's always like a place there's often a place you can go to where there's a story for the individual character you're unlocking. Then there's the tasks you need to do to unlock them. Then there'll be the tasks you need to do to get them to become a level 10 friend. But there'll also be the main game stories. All the characters like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy have their own stories that are part of the game on top, as well as their level 10 stories. And just looking at it, the list of characters has grown longer than I realised. Like, there's apparently the fairy godmother. I don't have her. Mirabelle from Encanto's in it now. Nala I haven't got yet. Olaf we don't have yet. Simba we don't have. But I think the last time we were engaged in it was when Stitch was added, because that's Ben's like favourite character. And yeah, we spent ages getting him sorted, but we just haven't touched it in about probably 2-3 months now, I think. And looking at it, they've got Monsters Inc. coming up. They've got more Lion King characters. They've got Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Eva from Wall-E, Wreck-It Ralph's going to be in it. So they are doing some more stuff soon. But I need to know how many people are still playing this. I don't feel like it's probably that active anymore. I felt like it was everywhere for a little bit.
I think if you're not playing it, you're not seeing it. But yeah, there's loads going on. I just don't know what they are. It's so annoying. It's like, okay, now you've done Moana. Go and find... Oh my god, what's his name? It was just in my head. Maui. Yeah, go and find him. And do it. I'm like, okay, but why? Why do I... like?
It's worth doing a lot of their bits. Like, Moana is insane because she parks up next to a shop. Like, well, you can place her boat next to a shop, and then she'll just go and fish for you. And if you keep giving her upgrades, then she's getting you like $5,000 worth of fish every day, and you're flogging them to Goofy next door. She could literally make the steps herself with her little cool box full of fish, but you're doing it. You're getting all the money. It's brilliant. It's a weird system. But yeah, no, it's a fun game. It's just, again, I don't understand how long this is going to go on for. It's essentially free with the little updates you can pay for the what's the word, like the decorations and whatnot. Have you upgraded your house much?
Once. Because he kept saying to me, it's like, there's an elevator. So I'm in Donald Duck's shop, not Donald Duck, Scrooge McDuck's shop. Where is the elevator? Couldn't find it. Didn't realise it was, you go in your house, and then like just before you go out your house, if you turn right, there's a little crevice, and that's your elevator to upgrade.
We didn't know that for ages, and we were like, oh, how do I add floors and change it? And it's weird that I get why they can't change the outside view of it, but it's weird that it always looks like a little hut, despite you adding several rooms to it. You'd think it would give you more space, or at least the people who were playing haven't looked more recently. But yeah, no, you're probably right that me not playing it means I'm not seeing it, but I do feel like this game dropped off the face of the earth. I'd forgotten about it.
Pab, can you talk? Because if I don't go to the toilet, I'm going to die. So you talk.
It's done you there, because you've not played anything else, Pab. You're screwed, aren't you?
I mean, I can talk about anything. I've played a little bit more Diablo 4. I'm respecking already. I'm moving towards frost and fire instead of electric and fire, because apparently that's so. I don't know. I saw someone say that this build is insane, and I went, okay. I don't know what that means. And then I have to respec 3 times because I didn't realise how to do the point system. And you can't just put stuff into your talent tree and then take it back out again. So I mistakenly put something into something, and then realised you can't go, oh, never mind, I didn't mean that one, take it back. It's like, no, you've learned now stuff. Respec. So I have to respec.
You can take them out individually. You just have to pay.
I take it all. I was looking, and I was like, I thought that as well, and there probably is a way, but all I could see was respec all. So I just take it all out and do it all again. I mean, it was 3,000 gold, and they have 200,000 gold. I was like, I don't care. But it's just having to put all the points back in, because I got down near the bottom, and then you know what I did realised? I was going. I got down to where I thought I'd done it wrong, and what had happened is one of my items was giving me a point in electric something or other, in an electric ability, and I kept thinking I put a point in it by mistake, so I kept resetting it, going, I've done it again. I've put a point in there, and I don't mean to, and then I realised, I was like, I haven't got any points left. How can I put a point in there? And then it was obviously one of my items that I was wearing gives me a point in this electric ability.
Aren't you a silly
which made
goose?
me feel like a bit of a spanner, but yeah. So I've been doing that, and I need to go through I need to go through that and see how that plays. Now I've only played a little bit with it, and it seems effective potentially. I need to make a few tweaks around it here and there. yeah, I also realise I do want to play more of that game because it's really good, and I'm still in Act 1, wandering around the snow, just clearing out world, like enemies that are going on, world events that are going on. And yeah, that has been fun for what I have been doing. I scrambled today because my controller disconnected to try and find to play on mouse and keyboard, which was fun. And then it ended up killing me because I was in a boss area in like a world event type thing, and my controller died, and I didn't realise it until way too late. And then I scrambled to get the mouse and keyboard on it. I don't know the buttons. I know how to move on it, but I don't know what any of the buttons would do. So I died. But other than that, I'm trying to think of anything else I've been playing. I mean, I play my usual Fortnite stuff. I mean, Sheepdog's done most of the Fortnite talking for me this week.
Yeah, sorry, that's unusual, isn't it? I thought that when we were playing it, I was like, "Oh, I'll have a chat with Pab about this." But to be honest, I mean, I only upped a little bit. It was more Ollie, and I think he was.
To be fair, you've played the single player stuff, the save the world stuff. I've never played that.
I remember thinking I'd be well up for that when the time comes. I was properly like, "This is going to be something."
It seems all right. It's wave based, like. But with like the building mechanics of Fortnite, it's because I'm so far removed from building now because I play zero build. I won't even know where to start. But you build your forts, and then there's the wave of zombies comes, and then you kill all them off, and then you refortify your fort or whatever it is, and do it again. But regular Fortnite, they have removed the sniper rifle this week, which is annoying for me because I have just this past week just started to use it again, and then they went and took it away from me, which was frustrating as hell. They've got an explosive repeater now, which
it's like me after too much sugar.
Yes.
So I'm going to be calling you this weekend. You wait.
It's interesting. It seems interesting going on. I'm going to have to learn how to play it all over again. But other than that, I played anything else.
Well, you don't have to keep trying if you're scraping the barrel up.
I'm trying to rattle my brain if I've played.
I've been Googling out of interest. I said to Anna just then, I wasn't sure. Oh no, don't die on me now, stupid phone. Right, well, I'm going to have to do that without the stats in front of me, aren't I? I was looking at the Steam charts where it tells you how many people have been playing games concurrently at any given time on Steam only, so it's not telling me the full player base. But it was really interesting to have a look through it because I put in Disney Dreamlight at first, and it came up with 2,437 or something like that. And I was like, well, is that 2.4 million or is that 2,400 people? And I was faffing for ages trying to get because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's 2,000, but I don't want to do them dirty by saying 2,000 people are playing this on Steam at the moment. And I know it's only like there is Xbox, there's PlayStation, there's all the other platforms that it's on, but yeah, that seemed low. So then I thought, well, I know a game that is quite popular, although again, it's not solely on Steam, so it wasn't a perfect view of it. I typed in Football Manager, and that again, annoyingly, can't look at the exact number. But that 20. Had a much healthier. That was in like I think it was something like 60,000 people have been playing it. Interestingly, it said the peak for Steam for Football Manager was like 85,000, and when you look at it. It's interesting that it goes up towards Christmas, hits the peak, and then basically stays at that number until towards the end of like Marchish time, and then it's like a zigzag. It's really weird to look at, and I wish I'd still had it on my phone because I guess it's like the weekend hits and everyone turns it on or something because it literally just frantically zigzags through the rest of the months as the football season's coming to an end, where it's like consistently hitting that kind of 60-70k people on it, but not then for days and then back up again. And then I was like looking at the first game I'd looked at while I was skipping through them because I wanted to get again another benchmark. I typed in 2 Point Campus thinking, I wonder how many people are playing that and have ever played that on Steam. And their peak is something like 7,000 people, and currently, apparently, 250 people have played that this week on Steam, and that seems wild. I feel like I know that's been out a while; it's a bit of an old game, but 250 people, it's a very low amount of people considering. I still get emails from them like, "We've done this, we've added this update in," and so on and so forth. And again, I know it's on Xbox Game Pass and all of that, so there must be people buying it on all the different platforms. But
I mean,
my gut always assumed these numbers were a bit higher. I think it's interesting to see.
Do you want, I've got top games currently on Steam.
Go on in.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive, 956,000 currently playing.
That's mad, isn't it? God,
Yeah.
that game's never going to die.
Team Fortress
Not that
2.
I want it to, but it's
Team
just
Fortress
brutal.
2 is at number 6 in this list, 118,000.
Another game that's just not going to die.
Grand Theft
It's
Auto
wild.
5 is number 5, 126,000 currently playing. It's crazy. FIFA 23 is number 12, 60,000 playing. FIFA 4 Manager is currently 63,000, like you say.
Yeah,
It's
mad.
Then let's say the numbers.
Yeah,
just
so
all over the
2,000
place.
people for Disney Dreamlight. I'm guessing that's going to be a similar amount across the other stuff. I don't really know who. I mean, I guess if they've got 15,000 people playing it at all, that's probably not too bad for them, is
Currently,
it?
like concurrent at the same time, sort of thing, at any one point.
Well, it was
well.
14,000 was its peak on Steam ever. So if they have that across all platforms now,
But then that's on. But it's also, it's like say it's on all the consoles. It's also on the Epic Store probably as well. So it's on a different store there. Is it on iOS?
I can't remember. You know, I mean, you're mocking me there, Pab. My phone ran out of battery. I can't check.
Oh, okay, check. Yes, good point. But I mean, it's on everything.
Yeah.
So, I
no, it's
mean-
just interesting to me. I wish I had. I mean,
And it's
I'm
on,
not
it was
going
on
to sit
Game
and.
Pass as well.
Yeah, I'm not
Are
going
we
to sit
talking
and
about
go.
Disney?
We're talking about lots of games now because I ended up going down a rabbit hole. I was just saying to Pab on Steam, apparently 2,500 people have played it this week.
It's offline mode as well. You don't have to be online to play it.
Sure, it wasn't a criticism either. I was just
Oh,
like,
okay.
it was interesting to see, like Football Manager, and I think it was 64,000 people have played it in the past 48 hours or right now.
No,
or something
that's
like that.
currently.
Yeah, okay,
What I'm
currently.
looking at, yeah.
And then another game I looked at had 250 people this week and stuff like that. So it's just interesting seeing the numbers on there. But then we were just debating whether, I think the peak for Steam for Disney Dreamlight is 14,000. But we were debating whether across all the platforms they'd have that round that number now. But if you think about that, like if you were a League One or Championship football team and you had 20,000 people consistently turning up, you're probably doing all right, aren't you? And for a game, that's probably making them the odd bit here and there. But it's just wild. It's just makes my brain kind of itch trying to figure out how that works and how they keep it going. It's the finances and all this is wild. But yeah, we were riffing quite a lot while you were having your tinkle.
Oh, I've been gone for ages. I've been back here for ages. I was just listening to you two.
I think Kevin can wrap us up then.
I was just letting you go on as long as possible because I'm not sure when. Well, I know I'm not going to be on the podcast for the next 2 weeks. So I thought I'd let people have a big bonus one this week. I'm going to force these people to do a podcast in my absence. I'm at TwitchCon next weekend. So
might be.
anyone who. I'm definitely at TwitchCon
he might
next
be there.
weekend. I am going to be there. Anna doesn't want me to go to Paris because
He needs
she's
to
a
find his
scaredy cat.
passport first, so.
If you've hidden my passport, I'll just get a new one. I've got a week. It'll be fine. But yeah, so I'm in TwitchCon next week, and then me and Anna are on holiday the week after. So I'll be back in a few weeks' time. But you should have a podcast next week. It just won't be as good because I won't be on it. It'll be fine. But if you do want to follow us on the internet, you can do that at Mgukpodcast, or you can follow me at Lalujo.
And I'm at RB6K.
I'm Miss Lelujo.
And now at Pab 1986.
And I'll see you in a while, boys and girls.
Yeah,
Have a good week.
You will.
Thanks, Lester, folks.